Hey guys, and welcome to Watch Talk Wednesday. I'm your host, Josh, and we have 6 stories that we're going to cover for you. I have my trusty laptop here ready to help me out, and the first article we're going to be covering today, it's from Worn & Wound. It says, amidst industry slump, the Swatch Group / ETA looks to reopen supply of movements. In 2013, not too long ago, the Swatch Group and ETA decided to limit the number of movements that they were going to provide third-party manufacturers. Whoever controls the ETA movement production actually said, okay, by 2023, you don't have to release any movements. You don't have to sell any movements to anybody who isn't a part of the Swatch Group. And that's really, really bad for third-party manufacturers, especially considering at that time the Sellita and Soprod movements were not as popular. So in response to this, it says in the movement, of course, others did step in. 2 of the bigger industry players, Sellita and Soprod, responded by ramping up production. So now a whole bunch of third-party manufacturers have actually looked to Sellita and Soprod to get their mechanical, their movements, right? And so the Swatch Group, this article is saying, the Swatch Group just reopened their supply of movements. And the reason they did this, they're not stupid. In 2016, the Swatch Group reported a 53.6% dip in operating profits. So if we scroll down here, we can see Nick Hayek Jr., the CEO of the Swatch Group. He doesn't look very happy in this picture.
Shame.
And he really shouldn't look very happy. A 53.6% drop in profits is pretty bad. So basically what this article is saying is, they're reopening their restriction on third-party manufacturers so they can make a profit, basically. They're selling their ETA movements and not producing as many watches, I would assume that's what this means, so that they can actually start to make money again, which is not good. Not good for the Swatch Group. Let's go on to our next one. We actually have an article from Hodinkee. I hope I said that correctly. Tissot has a new Locle automatic regulator, 3 new watches, less than $1,000 each. Of course, in Hodinkee manner, let's scroll all the way to the bottom and we'll see what they actually cost. $795 for the steel and leather, $850 for stainless steel with bracelet, $950 for two-tone. The interesting thing about these watches, I don't know if you can tell by the dial design, this long hand here is actually the minute hand, which is kind of crazy because we have the Roman numerals and indice, mixed Roman numeral and indice around the dial. So if you're trying to tell the minutes, I don't know if the Roman numerals are specifically helpful for that. And this top subdial actually tells the hour. So this is at 10:06. Yeah, interesting. The bottom dial has the second hand, and then we actually have the date on the 6 o'clock position, not the 3 o'clock position. So that's really, really interesting. I don't know if, and this case back is kind of, yikes. It's kind of in your face. I don't know, I don't really like, if you're going to show the movement, why don't you just give us a full case back? Why do you have to put this weird stuff on here? I mean, it's not even like a really expensive watch, they're not signing it because it's a great work of craftsmanship. They're just signing it to get their name out there. That's my personal opinion. The biggest thing for me with watches is value and usability. So this, This watch, I don't know. I think Tissot here is just trying to capitalize on the current trend for 2 register pieces. So, you know, there isn't really anything like useful about this. There isn't anything that really helps the readability of this watch. I mean, I looked at this watch on camera and it took me like 50 minutes to read what time it was. It took me like 18 tries. When I bought my Tissot Powermatic 80, which is a fantastic watch, it was actually on sale on Amazon for 30% off of its original Amazon price. So I think Tissot is trying to kind of rebrand themselves as under that $1,000 price point. You know, Steinhardt and even Sinn I think has one model underneath $1,000. All of those pieces kind of compete and take away market share from the Swatch group in the under $1,000 price point. So I think this is the Swatch group who owns Tissot. I think this is Tissot's attempt to make things better, try and earn some money. I think this black one looks good, but I'm not really a fan of Roman numerals. All right, we're going to the third one, and this is actually something that is kind of close to my heart. We're back on Worn and Wound again. Really great blog, you should check them out. And we're actually talking today, they have an article that just came out about affordable vintage pieces. They say the Seiko Lord Marvel 5740-8000, which is a high beat movement, is really, really affordable. And this watch looks amazing. You can see the pictures right now. Here's the movement. So you might be saying to yourself, oh wow, vintage Seiko, interesting. Well, actually, it is interesting. The watch operates at 5 Hertz. So what that means is that there are actually 10 ticks per second in between each second. So it's a very smooth motion of the second hand as it rolls across the dial, which is really cool. And it's also the second watch ever to get the 10 Hertz per second. So that's really cool, seeing more pictures of it now. Again, this is an amazing quality. These gems can be found in the $200 to $500 range, depending on the condition. There is one currently up for sale for $305, and I actually checked, and the movement looks good here. So, yeah, I would love to get this high beat piece. That's not really a news piece, but it is something cool that I thought I would share with you. My first watch was 4 Hertz, and then I was noticing with some of the Seiko pieces that I owned, they're at 3 Hertz, and I was like, okay, well, can you get higher? And this watch, this Seiko, is actually the second watch ever in history, 1967, to get the 5 Hertz down. So that's pretty cool. All right, our next story, also from Worn and Wound, and I am going to completely mangle this name of this company, Jacopo Dondi, yikes, watches. They have this cool design, they're on Kickstarter, and that is basically the gist of it here. Let me try and find a nice picture here for you. All right, so one thing you'll notice, like a Meister Zinger, this only has one hand, which I think is really, really interesting. The thing about this one is that it doesn't have the jump hour window. So on the Meister Zinger, I'll overlay a picture right now. On the Meister Zinger, it just has one hand that tells the minutes, and then there's a window at the top that shows the hours. And that's actually really, really, really cool, because for me, again, as I said, usability and readability are really, really important factors when considering buying a watch. So with the Meister-Singer, you look at the hour window and you say, okay, it's 12. And then you look on the dial and you just follow it until you find the minute hand and, 12:30 or whatever. And that's really, really cool. So the Jacopo Dondi, yikes, I really hope I'm saying that correctly, is similar, but it just has an hour hand. There's no hour window, there's no minute hand, and as you can see right here, it actually starts at the bottom and it's 24 hours. So they actually have interesting reasoning for this. So the day resets down at 24, right? And then, 8 in the morning it starts. So it actually kind of follows a sun cycle, right? So at 12, the hand is directly at the top, right? Just like the sun should be. I don't know, it's supposed to follow the motion of the sun. Let's look at their Kickstarter page here. If you pledge 120 Australian dollars, which is about $90 USD, you actually get one of these watches. Now, they're not mechanical, they are quartz. This is just a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, let's look at the specifications here. Stainless steel, 50 meters water resistance, mineral glass, there's no loom, 20 millimeter strap width, I don't know why they're measuring that in centimeters, 42 millimeter diameter. Then we have a Swiss-made Ronda 515 24-hour quartz, which is, yeah, I mean, for $90, it's interesting. If you are really interested in the idea of owning a 24-hour watch, I would say pick this up. All right, guys, our next article comes from a blog to watch. Got to get a nice drink of water there. And Sinn has a new certification, the DIN 8330. And they're basically going back and they're recertifying all of their Aviator watches. So basically, the DIN 8330 is a new German industry standard spearheaded by Sinn. And basically what it does is it increases the threshold that the watch has to pass. So all of Sinn's watches, if they're certified with the Test AF certification, there's a whole bunch of German for what that stands for. The Test AF standard, they have different temperature testing, different electromagnetic testing that actually isn't mentioned in this article, and then accuracy tests, pressure tests, basically to make sure that the watch is going to perform as a reliable instrument in a whole bunch of different areas. And that's kind of what sets Sinn apart from other third-party manufacturers, other independent manufacturers, is that they actually incorporate a whole bunch of cool technology into their watches, and then they also have these different certifications. So the DIN 8330 includes a whole bunch of the diving regulations too. So basically, these watches that you can see right here are pilot watches, but they also pass the diving watch specifications. So very, very interesting. They have a new regulation. Again, this isn't, the DIN 8330 is not international. It's actually only affecting German manufacturers, but it's cool that they're coming out with this new technology and really trying to innovate and push the envelope for what you can fit into a wristwatch. And then we have a whole bunch of different prices, basically mid 2000s to mid 3000s for one of these watches, which is, it's a little bit much for me personally. But if you like the Sinn style, then you should definitely pick one of these up. Alright guys, our last story today also comes from a blog to watch, and this story caught my eye. The Oak and Oscar Sandford GMT watch was just announced. Really beautiful watch. One thing you'll notice from the pictures is that the hour markers are actually subdialed. So you can see here the dimensionality of the dial here. We have that 5 kind of cut in to this black background onto the gray. And that just adds an extra level of refinement and class to the piece. So I don't know, I would definitely pick one of these up. And the best thing about this too, let's see. What movement does it have? It uses a sop rod movement. You know, we were just talking about that. A sop rod C125, which is an automatic movement. We can see it right here. Pretty great. I like the decoration of the rotor. It's my opinion. They're only making 200 of these, it looks like, because this is the first one out of 200. So the best part about this watch, though, is its price. It comes with this cool carry bag. The price is $17.50, which is crazy. That's I think it's definitely worth it for a GMT Swiss watch with this cool look. I think this is definitely an interesting look. So if you want it on the brushed steel, it's $17.50. If you want it on the black PVD, that's $18.50. But it's really cool. I don't know, I think I might get it on the black. Definitely, you know, I would pick one of these up because I think even for a few years after they're sold, they'll still be selling, if they're in good condition, for higher than what you paid. Just because they have that really cool design and they're pretty popular. I mean, the first edition of this watch sold out. All right, guys. Those are all the articles that we have for today, for this week, really. That was everything that kind of happened that was noteworthy in the watch community. But we will see you next time. And if you like the video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on all of the watch news updates in the future. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.